Welcome back to BMB Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the explosive drama unfolding between our favorite characters and the dangerous alliances forming that could change everything in Los Angeles. The bold and the beautiful landscape is shifting dramatically as family loyalties are tested and new threats emerge. Katie Logan finds herself in an increasingly difficult position as Bill Spencer's decisions continue to affect their family. Should Luna's devious actions create problems for Will, Bill may be forced to take extreme measures to protect his son. The tension between father and son has reached a breaking point, with potentially devastating consequences on the horizon. A medical emergency storyline appears to be developing for Liam Spencer after a heated confrontation with his father Bill regarding Luna's presence in their lives. Sources suggest Liam might reach his breaking point during this confrontation, either suffering a physical collapse due to extreme stress or potentially even attacking Bill in a moment of blind rage. This shocking development would send ripples through the Spencer family and beyond, potentially changing their dynamics forever. The conflict between Bill and Liam stems from Bill's decision to acknowledge Luna as his daughter, effectively unleashing her into their world. Liam's frustration has been building for weeks as he witnesses the chaos Luna brings to their family. The confrontation promises to be explosive, with emotions running high and words that cannot be taken back. Medical professionals may need to intervene if Liam's condition deteriorates rapidly following this emotional showdown. Meanwhile, Finn finds himself trapped in another impossible situation that could potentially end his marriage to Steffi. While he has assured his wife that he understands Luna cannot be around their family, Sheila is likely to manipulate the situation by suggesting that Luna needs her father's positive influence to become a better person. This clever emotional manipulation places Finn in an excruciating moral dilemma, choosing between his biological family connections and the safety of his wife and children. Steffi Forrester Finnegan may soon face a serious threat as Sheila and Luna potentially join forces to bring Finn into their orbit. Despite Finn's promises to keep Luna away from their family, Sheila's persuasive arguments about family bonds could weaken his resolve. The dangerous mother-daughter duo working in tandem creates a formidable opposition that Steffi might not be prepared to combat, especially if Finn begins to waver in his commitment to their boundaries. Deacon Sharp remains unaware of Sheila's secret activities, which could prove disastrous for their relationship. Sheila's clandestine meetings with Luna and her plans to manipulate Finn represent significant betrayals of Deacon's trust. When these secrets inevitably come to light, the fallout could be catastrophic for the couple who have worked so hard to establish some semblance of normalcy in their unconventional relationship. The partnership between Sheila Carter Sharp and Luna Nozawa continues to develop in alarming ways. While Sheila's current suggestions may be merely devious rather than criminal, her influence on the impressionable Luna could escalate as Luna becomes more determined to claim Will Spencer for herself. The transformation in Luna following Elektra's physical confrontation was evident in her eyes, a killer instinct awakened by the challenge to her desires. Elektra Forrester's warning to Luna about staying away from Will Spencer, accompanied by a forceful shove, has ignited something dangerous in Luna. That physical altercation appears to have triggered Luna's darker impulses, with her eyes revealing a shift towards something more sinister. This moment marks a turning point for Luna, who won't easily forget being challenged so directly by her rival for Will's affections. Sheila has already promised to help Luna achieve her heart's desire, currently focused on winning Will Spencer. Their collaborative plotting represents a dangerous alliance of two manipulative minds. As Luna's determination intensifies, Sheila's suggestions may evolve from merely underhanded to potentially criminal, creating a volatile situation that could explode with devastating consequences for everyone involved in their schemes. Fans should prepare for Sheila Carter Sharp to make an audacious move in upcoming episodes, demonstrating once again why she remains one of daytime television's most unpredictable villains. Her ability to simultaneously pursue multiple agendas. Helping Luna, reconnecting with Finn, and maintaining her relationship with Deacon, showcases her remarkable talent for deception and manipulation that has kept viewers captivated for decades. Next, we will learn about the issue of history repeating itself on The Bold and the Beautiful with an unexpected revival of a classic love triangle that has fans buzzing with anticipation and concern. The Bold and the Beautiful appears to be crafting a modern reimagining of one of its most iconic storylines, though perhaps the writers didn't expect eagle-eyed viewers to catch on so quickly. As we delve into the current narrative unfolding on our screens, the parallels to a legendary love triangle from the show's past become increasingly difficult to ignore, suggesting that what's old is new again in the world of Los Angeles fashion and romance. While the circumstances and character backgrounds differ significantly from their predecessors, the emotional architecture of this new triangle bears the unmistakable blueprint of the Hope-Liam-Steffi saga that captivated audiences for years. The current iteration featuring Elektra, Will, and Luna represents what industry insiders are calling a spiritual successor to that legendary storyline, with each character embodying familiar archetypes while navigating their own unique challenges in the high-stakes world of fashion and family drama. So, while the circumstances and details show some variation, this is undeniably a reimagining of the Hope-Liam-Steffi love triangle playing out before our eyes on Bold and Beautiful. The writers have cleverly updated certain elements to reflect contemporary sensibilities while maintaining the emotional core that made the original triangle so compelling. This storytelling approach demonstrates the cyclical nature of soap opera narratives while providing both nostalgic satisfaction for longtime viewers and fresh drama for newer audiences. One way or another, the innocent Elektra seems destined to lose out to the more experienced and determined Luna, mirroring Hope's repeated heartbreaks at Steffi's hands. The writers appear to be setting up this inevitable conclusion, though they may introduce unexpected twists to keep viewers guessing. Industry sources suggest that this triangle could potentially evolve in directions the original never explored, particularly given Luna's dangerous background and connections to other volatile characters on the canvas. Eventually, Will may succumb and allow himself to be seduced by Luna's persistent advances, or perhaps she'll resort to more underhanded tactics, possibly utilizing Poppy's mysterious mints to cloud his judgment. The fact that Will was contemplating Luna's proposition during his alone time speaks volumes about his vulnerability to temptation, despite his current commitment to Elektra. This internal conflict mirrors Liam's notorious indecisiveness, suggesting that Will may have inherited more than just the Spencer name and fortune from his family lineage. It was certainly commendable that Will came clean with Elektra about Luna's inappropriate proposition, demonstrating a level of honesty that bodes well for their relationship. However, the seeds of doubt have already been planted, and his momentary consideration of Luna's offer reveals underlying desires that could ultimately undermine his relationship with Elektra. Relationship experts often note that such moments of temptation, even when resisted, can indicate deeper issues of compatibility or unmet needs that eventually surface in more destructive ways. We certainly wouldn't have recommended Elektra's confrontational approach given Luna's dangerous background. The young Forrester descendant's boldness in standing up to Luna might be admirable in principle, but it demonstrates a naivety about the true nature of her adversary. Unlike Hope's confrontations with Steffi, which remained largely within the bounds of heated verbal exchanges, Elektra's challenge to Luna could have potentially lethal consequences given the latter's history of violence and impulsivity. Unlike Hope in the original triangle, Ivy's niece could place herself in genuine physical danger if she continues to position herself as an obstacle to Luna's desires. The stakes in this modern triangle are significantly higher, with Luna's murderous history adding a dimension of actual peril that wasn't present in the original dynamic. Psychological profilers familiar with patterns of obsession note that rejection often intensifies fixation in individuals with Luna's personality profile, potentially pushing her toward increasingly extreme measures to eliminate competition. It goes without saying that Sheila and Luna represent a formidable and dangerous combination, creating a threat level that far exceeds anything Hope faced from Steffi. This mother-daughter duo of destruction brings a sinister element to the triangle that transforms it from mere romantic competition into something potentially life-threatening. Their collaborative scheming adds layers of complexity and danger that elevate the dramatic stakes beyond those of the original triangle. Elektra, channeling Hope's determination, bravely confronted not just one but two known killers in her attempt to protect her relationship with Will. This remarkable display of courage, or perhaps foolhardy bravado, demonstrates her deep commitment to Will, but also highlights her inexperience in dealing with truly dangerous individuals. Mental health professionals would likely characterize this behavior as admirable but concerning, suggesting a lack of self-preservation instincts that could prove problematic in the high-stakes world she now inhabits. We doubt Elektra's confrontational strategy will prove any more successful than Hope's various attempts to secure Liam's undivided attention over the years. History suggests that such direct approaches often backfire in the complex social dynamics of Los Angeles's elite circles, particularly when dealing with adversaries who operate outside conventional moral boundaries. Relationship counselors might suggest that Elektra's energy would be better directed towards strengthening her connection with Will rather than engaging directly with her rival. Luna didn't mince words in her approach. She explicitly offered Will a physical relationship, making it abundantly clear she would provide what his girlfriend was withholding. This direct proposition represents a significant escalation compared to Steffi's more nuanced seduction techniques in the original triangle. Luna's brazen approach reflects both her desperation to forge connections after years of isolation and her fundamental misunderstanding of healthy relationship dynamics, likely resulting from her unusual upbringing and maternal influence. Will, predictably, responded with revulsion to Luna's proposition, primarily due to his awareness of her history as a cold-blooded killer, a factor that significantly differentiates this triangle from its predecessor. However, soap opera veterans recognize that initial rejection often serves as merely the opening move in a longer game of emotional manipulation and circumstantial entrapment. Will's moral compass may currently point true north, but the magnetic pull of temptation and the disorienting influence of Luna's persistence could eventually cause significant deviation. Enter Luna, who has targeted Elektra's boyfriend after identifying a potential vulnerability in their relationship. Her opportunistic move after overhearing Will's girlfriend reject his physical advances demonstrates a predatory approach to relationships that far exceeds Steffi's competitive nature in the original triangle. Behavioral analysts might note that Luna's targeting of Will represents both a desire for genuine connection and a disturbing tendency to view relationships as conquests rather than partnerships, likely stemming from her complicated relationship with her mother. Elektra is effectively playing the role of Hope, the innocent, possibly virginal young woman experiencing the intensity and vulnerability of first love. Her character embodies the traditional soap opera ingenue. Pure-hearted, optimistic, and somewhat naive about the darker aspects of human nature. Cultural critics might observe that this character archetype continues to resonate with audiences despite evolving social attitudes, perhaps because she represents an idealism that many find aspirational even while recognizing its fragility in the face of real-world complications. Will is undeniably smitten with Elektra, but also exhibits the typical young male eagerness to progress their physical relationship, soap writers' shorthand for wanting to have sex. This tension between emotional connection and physical desire creates the fundamental vulnerability in their relationship that Luna seeks to exploit. Relationship experts often identify this mismatch in physical expectations as a common pressure point in young relationships, particularly when external influences actively work to magnify these differences. Bold and Beautiful has meticulously constructed the foundation for this familiar dynamic to unfold through its new incarnation, Electra will Luna. The writers have carefully established character motivations and relationship dynamics that mirror the classic triangle while introducing contemporary elements that refresh the narrative for current audiences. This storytelling approach demonstrates both the enduring appeal of certain romantic conflicts and the show's ability to reinvent familiar tropes for new generations of viewers. We didn't anticipate Bold and Beautiful orchestrating a revival of the Hope-Liam-Steffi triangle on our 2025 bingo card, yet here we are witnessing its unmistakable resurrection. The production team has cleverly disguised this narrative recycling by changing the character names and specific circumstances, but the emotional architecture remains remarkably faithful to the original. This strategic decision allows the show to capitalize on a proven dramatic formula while providing enough variation to maintain viewer interest. Of course, this reimagined triangle features significant differences from its predecessor that keep the storyline fresh and unpredictable. The most notable distinction is the elevated stakes created by Luna's criminal history and connection to Sheila, transforming what was once merely romantic competition into potentially life-threatening conflict. This darker undertone represents the show's adaptation to contemporary audience expectations for more intense drama and higher stakes. Back in the original triangle's heyday, Steffi deliberately pursued Liam despite his established relationship with Hope, creating the classic soap opera love triangle that would define a generation of storytelling on The Bold and the Beautiful. Their first encounter occurred under dramatic circumstances, with Liam saving Hope from nearly drowning in a bathtub. A meet-cute that established their romantic connection as both intense and based on genuine concern rather than mere physical attraction. Steffi and Liam developed a chemistry that contrasted sharply with his connection to Hope, largely because Steffi brought considerably more relationship experience to the table. This dynamic created a classic dichotomy between the experienced, worldly woman and the innocent, idealistic ingenue, a storytelling device that has proven effective across decades of soap opera narratives. The writers appear to be recreating the same fundamental tension between Luna and Electra, though with significantly higher stakes given Luna's dangerous background. Hope represented the archetype of innocence discovering first love with Liam, approaching their relationship with the caution and reserve typical of someone navigating these emotional waters for the first time. Her more conservative approach to physical intimacy stood in stark contrast to Steffi's confident sexuality, creating a Madonna-whore dichotomy that, while problematic by contemporary standards, provided clear dramatic tension. Today's writers have maintained this basic contrast while attempting to frame it in slightly more progressive terms. Steffi, unlike her modern counterpart Luna, never hesitated to showcase her confidence and sensuality, often appearing in revealing lingerie and high heels to capture Liam's attention. While this characterization might seem somewhat dated by today's standards, it established a clear contrast between the two women competing for Liam's affections. Luna's approach, while similarly focused on physical temptation, carries darker undertones given her manipulative nature and criminal history. Although reducing the original triangle to mere seduction oversimplifies the complex dynamics at play, Liam was undeniably drawn to Steffi's confidence and sensuality, often at Hope's emotional expense. This pattern of attraction and betrayal established a cyclical narrative that sustained viewer interest for years, with audiences dividing into Team Hope and Team Steffi camps that passionately defended their preferred pairing. Early social media metrics suggest similar audience polarization beginning to form around the Electra will Luna triangle, indicating successful engagement with this storytelling approach.